Happy New Year to you. We hope you had a really fabulous Christmas and we're back, baby. I know I've taken a bit of a long break during December and part of November, but I have decided to make videos again once a week to support you and your gorgeous one-child family as part of the onlychildclub.net. So let's get straight into it, shall we? I hope you had a really splendid Christmas break, and I'm assuming that as you're listening to this video, you are thinking, I want to set resolutions, New Year's resolutions. That's the thing to do, isn't it? When maybe there's something niggling in the back of your mind saying, am I really going to keep on? Well, fear not, for in this video, I'm going to share with you some tried and tested methods to keep your New Year's resolutions. So I think the first thing is you have to really have a good reason for any resolutions that you make. I think that sometimes people just create resolutions because it's kind of the thing that people do, it's a fad. But the truth is, not many people keep resolutions if that's the only reason that they're doing it. They're like, no, I ought to lose weight. I know I should, because society says I should. But you've got to have the heart for it because it's hard work to establish a new habit or to discard a new habit. It's really hard work. So you've got to have a very good personal reason, a personal motivator in order to keep your New Year's resolutions. Now, as per usual in this video, I am making references to a previous blog post I have written. And if you go to the onlychildclub.net onto the New Year's resolutions post, you will see a charming little video of Dr. Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb. In one particular episode, he decides to make a new innator where he wants to make everybody have the same resolution, New Year's resolution, where they obey everything he does, only to discover that nobody actually follows their resolutions. And I think that is that's pretty apt, really, isn't it? That's pretty much true. So if you want to have New Year's resolutions this year, then you've got to have a really good reason for yourself personally to have those resolutions. And this is where I would recommend that you write your goals. Now, you don't necessarily need to share your goals, and actually there's quite a few motivational speakers out there who suggest you don't share your goals, that you don't talk all about, I'm going to do this, I'm going to write this book, I'm going to run this marathon, I'm going to do this, that and the other to everyone. Don't talk about it, just do it. But for yourself, it's worth writing the goals down. Now, I watched this really awesome video the other day by Modern Millie. She's a great YouTuber, and she recommended, and I think this is a good idea, I've heard it from other people, a way to write your goals down is with a bit of creative fiction. Imagine that you're at the end of this year and you write a journal and you write down what an amazing year it's been, where you have fulfilled your goals. So for example, you could say in your journal, and I've got a journal now, but you say in your journal on the 28th of December, say, wow, what an amazing year this has been. I have been able to achieve this, this, this and this. I've set up this many Only Child clubs, local groups in my region. I have been able to lose this much weight, or whatever it might be. I'm not going to tell you what my goals are, although setting up Only Child Club regional groups is definitely one of my goals. I won't lie about that. You want to find out more about that, I will talk about it during the year. So do remember to subscribe so you can find out more about what we're doing here at the Only Child Club this year to set up groups all around the UK for you and your lovely family. So that is one of the goals that I've got as one of my New Year's resolutions. But what you can do is write down your goals as if it's been a year and think, this is what I want 25 to look like for me. So by the end of the year, you can read back and you're like, actually, I have fulfilled all of those. And it's a real good carrot to aim for, something that this is where you want to be. You know, you've got the destination written down with all the different things that you want to achieve in the year. The other thing you've got to do, however, is make sure that your goals, that your resolutions are realistic. I'm always amused by the character of Del Boy from Only Fools and Horses, and he's like, this time next year we'll be millionaires.
Well, that is where our future lies, Rodney. Second-hand motors. This time next year, we'll be millionaires.
How realistic was that in the situation he was in? Did turn out for him, but that was just by chance. None of his harebrained schemes actually worked. So if you are going to set up some resolutions, what you really want to be doing is making sure that they are realistic. So for example, maybe you won't be able to become a millionaire this time next year, but perhaps you'll be able to pay off all your debts. So you write them down, those SMART goals, with the SMART way, which is make sure it's specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and you consider the time it will take to fulfill those goals. You can find out more about that by going on to theonlychildclub.net and reading about that. But it's all about making those small incremental changes, and also having a plan. Having a plan is very, very important. So when you're writing down your goals, write down exactly how you're going to be able to achieve them, you know, and say if you want to pay off your debt, how much are you going to put aside each month to be able to do that? And, you know, by all means, go and get some help for that, to work it out, to work out your budget and work out how you can, say, pay off any debts or make savings or whatever it is, you know, or you want to lose so much weight by a certain period of time. How are you specifically going to reduce your weight each week, and make those incremental changes? I'll talk a little bit about incremental changes and small habits in a moment. Next thing you need to do, or well, you don't have to do this, but it makes it easier, is see if you can find yourself a resolution buddy, somebody else in your life who has the same goal as you. So if you both want to get fitter, then perhaps you can both join the gym at the same time, and you go at the same time, and then you can make sure you're both accountable to each other. So it is easier to have a resolution buddy, somebody who is, you know, you're accountable to one way or another. Now, Alex Hormozi, who is a mega, I think is a big self-made millionaire, motivational speaker, he recommends that when you start your resolution, start when you're at your busiest, because if you start when things are quiet and you've got plenty of time, then that's easy, isn't it? Yeah, by all means, you can pick up your guitar and strum away because you've got plenty of time. Whereas if you start when you're really busy and you've got lots going on and you're still able to make space each and every day to work on your resolution, you're more likely to keep it, because you know you can, because you, despite being really busy, you've still been able to make that time to build your skills up, to work on your resolution, on your goals. Of course, a really big one is eliminate those temptations. I've been saying this quite a bit recently, that the diet doesn't start until all the Christmas food has been eaten or thrown away or whatever. The Christmas food cupboard has to be empty before I start stocking it up with all the healthy stuff. Remove the temptations, because if you don't, then they're always going to draw you. One of the things that I'm a bit addicted to is TV. So I'm planning to actually get a cover or make a cover to put over the TV. So the effort of actually taking the cover off in order to watch it less likely to do it. And obviously you can do the reverse. You can also put good temptations there. So for example, get rid of all your chocolate, have a fruit bowl. So if you do want to eat or snack, then you're making a better choice with having the fruit bowl there instead. The other thing you can do is, if you are easily distracted, is you can actually have app blockers that you can put on your phone or your computer. So for a set period of time, you cannot access the social media accounts that you're totally addicted to, and that will help you be focused on your task that you want to work on. And this can be for your work on, or it can be for your resolution. Now, this is one that I have done sort of in the past, and that's to have monthly resolutions. A whole year seems a really long time. So it is unlikely that people will be able to uphold their resolutions for an entire year. The way the human brain works is that, you know, in some respects we are a little bit like animals. We want that immediate satisfaction. You know, like a cat would want food straight away. They don't want to have to work for it, whatever. They want that immediate satisfaction as a survival mechanism. It's built inside our systems, but we don't need to have that actually, because our lifestyles as they are, we're not cavemen, survival of the fittest, all trying to survive. We've got a lot more time available to us, but that base survival system is still inside our heads there. So we want that immediate satisfaction. We're not very good at waiting long term to see that satisfaction be played out. So a way to kind of fool your brain a little bit is, instead of having a whole year resolution, have monthly ones. And again, it's all incremental. So for example, you want to lose £40 in a year, then perhaps it would be advisable that you aim to lose £4 each month, and you've just focused on the month, the end of the month. Oh, I've lost £2, that's fantastic. Let's get to the end of the month and see if I can lose any more. That kind of thing, just month by month, as it were. You can get those little dopamine fixes throughout the year, and that's gonna help you fulfill your big goals by the end of the year. So for example, you want to write a book. Perhaps you say, hey, I want to write this many words by the end of January, by the end of February, by the end of March. And you can sort of adapt them a little bit depending on how busy the month is. So you could say, hey, by the end of January, I want to get 5,000 words written. By the end of February, I want it just to be 4,000 words. By the end of March, 6,000 words, whatever it might be, if you say writing a novel, and you can adjust it depending on how busy you are. The other thing you can do, and this is something I certainly support, as this is a family YouTube channel, I'm all about supporting the family, is make resolutions with your family. So sit down with your families at the beginning of the year and say, hey, what sort of things do you want to achieve by the end of the year? Have you got particular goal? You know, maybe your child would like to enter a competition for a club they're part of. Maybe they want to do gymnastics and they say, hey, I want to enter this competition. Maybe they're working towards a particular coloured belt in karate. I mean, I spent a lot of Christmas watching Cobra Kai, so I'm going to be talking about karate now. I'm really interested in it. So, or maybe as a family group, you all want to go on a holiday to Spain, so you can talk about resolutions to save money together, or or you could maybe have a competition about learning Spanish by using Duolingo, things like that, where again you're accountable to each other and you're doing it as a family. It's a great way for family bonding and having a shared goal together that you're all working towards. And finally, be inspired. you could be really fired up and yeah, I'm definitely going to write this novel. I'm definitely going to, achieve this black belt in karate or whatever it could be. But as you start doing the work and building those skills, and it gets harder and harder, because it does. They say it gets easier, but it kind of gets easier, and then you have to learn something new or up your game a bit, and then it gets hard again. So for example, you're learning the guitar, you learn a few simple chords, nice and easy, and then at some point you need to learn some other chords, and that can be tricky to master initially. So if you are feeling a little bit, this isn't going well, I've hit a block, writer's block, something like that, I'm not feeling motivated, then what you could do is listen to podcasts of inspirational people or read inspirational books. That is 100% what I do. So for example, I try and practice fasting. I haven't done very well with that. I fell off rail track or whatever they call it over Christmas. A lot of us did over December. It's not going to be easy. So actually I'm reading books about it. I've got some books that were sent to me about fasting and cleaning out the gut and all of that. So I'm reading those books, and I listen to podcasts about fasting and the benefits of that. And just listening to that is quite inspirational. So what I've done is, if you can go onto the website, theonlychildclub.net, go on to New Year's resolutions. There's a list of books and some podcasts that might be of help to you. There's ones about improving your brain and your memory, books that I recommend about improving your motivation and productivity, and there's also some really good podcasts I've recommended, especially if you're interested in writing or losing weight. So there's a few books and podcasts that I recommend that are on there. But 100% really good way of keeping your resolutions is when you're feeling a bit meh and you're feeling a bit like I don't want to work on it or uninspired, then just watching YouTube videos and listening to other people and their successes really, really help. So I really recommend you go onto the website and check out those podcasts and books that I recommend. Well, there we are. It's quite a short video, but I hope it's really, really helpful. I can't wait to make more videos. Do let me know what you think. What are your New Year's resolutions? Let me know in the comments below. You don't have to say all of it, but we can work together and make each other accountable here on the community. So please do let us know your New Year's resolutions for you and your family this year. All the best, and see you next week. Toodles!